For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Lots of enthusiasm around. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining our Tuesday night broadcast of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. And now a chance to see what's coming up for the Denver Nuggets. On Thursday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. Then on Saturday, they'll go up against the Magic in Orlando. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Coach Mike Malone had this to say about his understated superstar, Nikola Jokic. Malone said he's truly beloved by all his teammates. No ego, a little bit goofy, doesn't take himself too seriously, and with his success, he's still the same kid. That's why everybody cares about him and respects him. Kevin?
The Nuggets, lucky to have you. Thanks, David. Doris, there is nothing like opening night in the NBA. Every fan base just teeming with optimism for the upcoming season.
I think all of us are just so thrilled to have NBA basketball back. There's no losses in the losing column. Everybody's happy. Let's tip it off and go.
And guys have that little step, and these first weeks of the season are always exciting.
Oh, no doubt. Everybody's bursting with enthusiasm. Players are fresh.
Now, we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Jalen Brunson out there with Wright. And it's Kleba in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the Nuggets, Millsap and Jokic, the big men. Filling out the wings, Harris and Barton. And it's Murray in at the point. Now here's Wright. Porzingis inside. Millsap covering. And the basket is good.
Well, Kristaps Porzingis has any number of tools on the offensive end, but a nice high percentage look there.
Murray outside. And that one, good.
And it's always nice to get the easy look inside for your first points of the game.
Outside, Porzingis. Back to Doncic. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Boy, what body control from the Slovenian forward. Doncic comfortable taking on all challengers.
Here's Murray. It's hauled in by Porzingis.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
Here's Brunson. A shot that time, not on target. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And they were unbeaten against this club last season. Not surprising considering where they both finished in the standings.
Well, they're more talented, more accomplished at this point, but you can't rely on that and start taking plays off. You could get surprised.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
Now, here's Jokic. 9-point game his last outing. Murray kicks to Harris. 5 on the clock. Here's Millsap. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Bounce pass from Wright. Poked away. And now Harris running the floor all by himself. And slam dunk by Harris.
Of that steal, really a 4-point swing with the conversion at the other end.
Against Doncic. Outside, Porzingis. There's the 3. Barton with the rebound.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
Feeds to Millsap. And he drops it in from the low post. Millsap's got his second bucket. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for Dallas. Trailing by 2. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, the hoop and the harm. Luka Doncic, the finish, and he'll get an opportunity to add to that.
And as Dirk Nowitzki walks off into the sunset, the Mavericks seem to have found their next European superstar in Luka Doncic. The number 3 pick in last year's draft had a rookie season for the ages.
That free throw good from Doncic. And Doncic, the EuroLeague MVP, led Real Madrid to a title. EuroLeague Finals MVP, all at the tender age of 19.
Incredibly accomplished. Despite that, slipped a little bit in the draft into the waiting arms of the Mavs, who moved up 2 spots to get him.
Now here's Wright, following the miss by Jokic. Doncic, no good.
And this is a shot he can definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
Murray, the pass to Millsap. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Well, we didn't see the same kind of control we're used to seeing from him. This guy is usually a tremendous finisher.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Well, Greg, the rapid ascension of Nikola Jokic into NBA stardom has been nothing short of amazing. You know, he really is an elite center now.
I mean, he's the best player on a very talented young team in the West. I would not be surprised to see him win an MVP in the next few years.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
Well, you think the ownership style of the Mavericks, something the league had to adjust to. Very active, very outspoken. Sometimes I think that rubbed people the wrong way. But now you get the sense it's almost the new normal.
And Jokic drops them both. And the Mavericks, we know, have been trendsetters, investing in development and in technology.
Kevin, they have always been on the cutting edge of data collection and then using that data to give them a competitive advantage. When you're in a business, it's always about what's next? How can I be better?
And that's up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
Now, here's Doncic. 29 points for him last game against Portland.
And he was aggressive in how he played on the defensive side of the floor, notching 3 steals on the game.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through.
Pass to Jokic. Dishes it to Millsap. Jokic trying to free himself up.
Porzingis so fast off the floor when he challenges a shot. Helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
And it's Wright missing. Nuggets have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. And that one's good. Barton.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Doncic after the basket by Will Barton. Brunson finds Wright. Passes to Doncic. Drains the three-pointer. Doncic has got 10.
I'll tell you, this guy is proving to be a problem for the defense. In this quarter, he has been special.
Murray outside. The teardrop falls in. He's got 6. Mavericks have gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. Brunson kicks to Porzingis. Pulls from the top of the key, and the shot goes down.
Just focusing on the task at hand That's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
Jokic, it's blocked. And here we go, the Mavericks in a fast break. And he goes in for the dunk.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic and a pretty pass right there.
Murray outside. Barton outside. No good with the triple. Dallas leading by 4. Here's Porzingis, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Gary Harris.
Yeah, and KP, he's not shy about creating some contact there. He might have a slender frame, but he is not afraid.
The first one falls. We hear this a lot, Doris. The great offense always beats great defense. Think that's true?
I do, Kevin. I think obviously a defender is usually in reactionary mode. It's the rare defender who is dictating to the offensive player what they want to happen. So imagine trying to impact LeBron James as he's playing in the open floor with a head of steam. Like, good luck with that.
Well, so much of the last few seasons have been lost time for Kristaps Porzingis. That ACL injury and then working back from it in the 2019 campaign, never an easy road to start him.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets. Greg, with all the time that Porzingis has missed, it's easy to forget just how dominant he is when he's healthy.
KP is one of the few game-changing talents in our league. He can carry an offense and boost an entire team's defense with his presence on the floor. All right, a chance to look at the stats for Nikola Jokic. He's coming off an excellent season, 9th in assists, and he did his share on the glass, battled his way into the top 15 in rebounds per game.
And his floor awareness was impeccable last season. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists, just does a great job of getting everyone involved. Now, here's Jokic, and Jokic slams it in.
And this game already taking shape as an offensive battle.
Well, the fans love it. Coaches may not like the lack of defense, but boy, the rules promote scoring, no doubt.
Millsap against Porzingis. Pass to Hardaway. Over Murray. And too long on the shot.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Shot clock at 5. Off target with his 3. Dallas leading by 4. Porzingis inside. Millsap on him. Kleba with the bucket.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Outside Millsap. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. And that's now 6 points for Millsap.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot, hot.
Here's Doncic. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Nuggets trail by 4. Down low. And it's slammed in by Millsap.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now here's Brunson. Doncic outside. Over Millsap. The rebound by Grant.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Here's Murray, and it's all evened up. Murray's got 8 points.
And the confidence from Murray, just so efficient from the interior.
Doncic against Grant. Doncic kicks to Kleba. Here's Brunson, back to Kleba. Here's Doncic. That doesn't go either for Doncic. So for the Nuggets, their last game, a win against the Kings in Sacramento. And it's Murray penetrating, and the shot goes in.
And the D has no answer for Murray, just absolutely ferocious at attacking the basket.
Doncic passes to Porzingis. Over Millsap. Porzingis can't hit. Here's Denver now. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Jokic trying to free himself up, and it's Murray. That time on the assist by Beasley. And it's a 4-point Denver lead, and Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
Well, what a lineage for Jeremy Grant, a member of that very famous Grant family in NBA history. His brother, father, and uncle have all played in the league, and what a job he's done to follow suit.
For the Nuggets, Mason Plumlee's checked in for Jokic. Michael Porter comes in for Paul Millsap. And Morris subbed in for Murray. Then for the Mavericks, Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for Maxi Kleba. Jackson comes in for Luka Doncic. And Curry subbed in for Jalen Brunson. Hardaway finds Jackson. They need this. And Grant sends it back.
Well, he's got to be a defensive stalwart, and Jeremy Grant using his size to send it back.
Here's Hardaway. 11 points for him in that last game against Portland. You feel like Grant started to turn the corner, I thought, last season, Doris, in his development.
No doubt, Kevin. He got to see starters minutes for the first time in his career, and he was rock solid. This guy is a good rebounder. He's switchable on the defensive end, and he brings great energy every night.
And the first one at the line is good. Doris, do you think it's more challenging for superstars in smaller markets, mid-sized markets?
You know, this is such an interesting debate in a world that has become, because of social media, so much smaller. You know, I do think that certain larger markets, LA, New York, can be a blessing and a curse. It does still feel like that media scrutiny is a little bit larger. When things are going well, it's the best thing in the world. When things aren't going so well, boy, those day-by-day question after question can probably become pretty tedious.
Now, here is Morris. Back to Porter. Unloads. That one misses. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Curry is inside. Covered by Morris. Porzingis kicks to Curry. Off the left rim and out.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
They get a hand on it. Porter dishes to Beasley. Back to Porter. Shoots over Curry. Porter, no luck.
Listen, he can make that shot right there, but I do know they have other options they can go to.
Right side Curry. 1:10 left to play in the first. Fires from 14, and that's good for 2. Curry's got the game tied up here for the Mavs.
Well, as reliable as it gets from the mid-range. Seth Curry very good at finding those opportunities in those spaces.
Curry against Morris. Good on the bucket.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Would be the right move, I believe, right now.
There's the pass to Finney-Smith. Porzingis looking it over. Curry against Morris. 6 to shoot, and he gets it to go. Curry's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Boy, you love what this guy is doing right now. He's taking smart shots, shooting a high percentage, starting to cook.
Morris inside. He's against Porzingis. Here's Plumlee, and he makes good on the layup.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Curry with it. Here's Porzingis. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway. What a performance by Jamal Murray. He has been the story for Denver. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and then Kobe and Shaq, and then we both started watching a lot of NBA highlights. And then later on, 13, 14, Kobe and Powell, I used to watch those guys play a lot.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And when you consider how Denver is doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
It's Morris and Beasley at the 1 and the 2. Jeremy Grant is out there with Porter, and it's Plumlee in at the 5 spot. That's the group on the floor for Denver. Now, here's Porter. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Plumlee in the high post. Morris outside. Just 5 to shoot. The 3. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Courtney Lee is on the wing. Back to Curry. Kicks to Lee. Pass to Porzingis. It falls for his 5th field goal tonight. Now shooting 5 for 8.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Denver Nuggets. Trailing by 2. There's the dish to Plumlee. Back to Morris. Fires the 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. Morris has got his second basket of the night. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Now, here's Curry. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Here's Beasley, and it's Beasley finishing it off.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
The Mavericks trail by 3. Outside Curry. Right side, Lee. 6 on the shot clock. Curry kicks to Jackson. Out to Lee. From outside the arc. Plumlee with the rebound. The Nuggets leading by 3. Beasley outside. Denver passing it around. Lee against Porter. Over Lee. Porter, no luck.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, there is a lot of optimism in Dallas for the tandem of Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis said, "We clicked right away. We're both European players, similar roots, both speak Spanish. That'll translate on the court. We can be something special." Kevin, look out for them to compliment and criticize one another in a different tongue.
If they play to their potential, they could be scary. Thanks, David. Now, here's Curry. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Here's what Denver's going with right now. Will Barton comes in for Jeremy Grant, and it's Gary Harris in for Beasley. The Mavericks also with a sub. White, he's checked in for Curry. He hits both from the stripe. The Nuggets trail. Morris passes to Harris. Back to Morris. The three. The Nuggets with another miss.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Dallas, no good that time either. Nuggets have gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. Passes it to Harris. Clock at 6. To the inside. Porter. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. And the Nuggets lead by 1.
Well, you know, Porter can expect this. Defenses are going to try to be physical with him, try to get in his head.
Wright finds Porzingis. Here's Finney-Smith, guarded by Porter. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
For Dallas, they have made the most out of their opportunities at the line. They have yet to miss in 7 attempts. And that one misses for the Nuggets. Jokic, he's checked in for Plumlee. Millsap comes in for Michael Porter. And Murray's subbed in for Morris. And then for Dallas, Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Porzingis. Luka Doncic comes in for Justin Jackson. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Courtney Lee. And he's good on the second. Here's Murray. He's got 12. Harris outside. Pass to Jokic. Martin with it. He's picked up by Doncic. And Harris wide open. He shoots. And a miss there on the triple. Fast break Dallas. Here's Wright. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got 3 assists tonight. For Denver, they've gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. And here is Murray. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. Millsap misses. The Mavericks leading. Right, the pass to Finney Smith. And no good. Barton with some nice D. And so it's Barton bringing it up for the Nuggets. And following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. That'll be the first half of a two-game trip. Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. Dallas has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Doncic against Barton. And Doncic, here we go.
The numbers for Luka Doncic, absolutely staggering. The only rookie ever to average over 20 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And he finished last season right around 71% from the line, so not exactly his best percentage.
First one falls for him.
And I think, guys, over time, you would anticipate Luka Doncic becoming more and more of a leader. This guy is so fun to watch from a skill perspective.
All free throws good from Doncic. The Nuggets trail by 4. Harris outside. The pass to Millsap. He kicks it to Barton. Harris outside. 5 to shoot. Pass to Jokic. Here's Murray. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
And really an alert play on the glass there to get that second chance opportunity. He's having one of those games that we've really grown accustomed to seeing him put forth.
Yeah, he's back-to-back games like this. He is on a tear, competing with every ounce of energy he's got.
Denver's gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Jokic inside, guarded by Doncic. Good! And that's now 6 points for Jokic.
Boy, nice shot. He didn't need the fadeaway to create separation, though. He was wide open.
And it's sent back by Jokic. Doncic against Barton. Millsap, and he hits it to tie the game up. Millsap's got 10 points.
Well, so great when your offense produces a shot that close to the rim. The rest of the work becomes easier.
White dishes to Doncic. It's deflected. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
And that one's good, Barton. The Mavericks have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Wright, the pass to Doncic. Back to Wright. Good, and the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. The Nuggets have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. Passes it to Barton. And he's good on the 3 ball. Barton's got 5 points now this quarter.
With this lead, they're playing confidently, showing a quick trigger from beyond.
Doncic passes to Finney Smith, and he uses the glass on the layup.
Make no mistake, guys, the playmaking ability of Luka Doncic is special. Even at a young age, this guy can pick apart a defense.
Now here's Murray. He's got 14. Here's Jokic. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Well, just it's easy to say, this guy wanted it more, creating the second chance opportunity and cashing in.
Here's Wright. Murray with the defensive effort. The Nuggets leading by 3. Harris looking it over. Pass to Jokic. Outside for Murray. Back to Jokic. Over Wright. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And checking out the numbers for Gary Harris, how he performed last season. He put up about 13 points a game last season, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
For Dallas, they have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
Mavericks making a switch here. Hardaway's checked in. That free throw good from Doncic. Denver's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. And DeLon Wright gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. A floater.
Cooling off a bit after a nice first quarter.
Murray, no good.
Not a lot falling for him in this quarter. He's got to stay aggressive, try to break through, see if you can get an easy opportunity.
No good from Finney-Smith.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
Now the pass to Wright. Pass to Kleba. Just 5 on the clock. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. And that's 17 points for Luka Doncic. Murray, the pass to Jokic. Back to Murray. Out to Harris. Shoots the 3. That's it. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3. He talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
You got to remember that Luka Doncic is so much more than a shooter. He's got every shot in his arsenal, even amongst the trees in there.
Now here's Murray. 14 points for him. To the middle. Here's Millsap. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound. Finney-Smith's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Doncic. That's a basket. His 8th from the field, 8 of 14.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Jokic inside. He's got 8, and he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And how about the transition from Paul Millsap, going away from that star role to being more of a role player here in his later years? No longer needed to carry the torch, if you will, in terms of scoring and rebounding, but he can still give you just a bit of everything else at this stage.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
Underrated coming into the league and underestimated. Millsap doesn't have any doubters anymore.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Barton. Malik Beasley comes in for Gary Harris. And Morris subbed in for Jamal Murray. Then for the Mavericks, Porzingis is checked in for Maxi Kleba. Jackson comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Curry subbed in for DeLon Wright. There's 47 seconds left in the first half of the game. Passes it to Doncic. And here's Porzingis for a 3. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got his 6th assist on the night. Pass to Millsap. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Porzingis has got 6 rebounds in the game. Inside. Jackson misses.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
It's been all about Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks. It's been an excellent game for him offensively. He's got 21 points and counting. We'll return shortly.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He had 21 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Well, there was one pleasant surprise, and that was the bench. They gave him a big lift. Those guys came into the game, they did all the dirty work, and they scored baskets.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
Well, you want to try to hold your opponent under 50% shooting. That has not happened. Defensively, they're allowing way too many give-ups. They need to do a better job of shutting down the lane, as well as closing out on shooters.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter is set to begin in just a few.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
And the way he goes at defenders, he is bound to get to the line just like he did there in that first half.
I have to love his tenacity. This guy stays in attack mode, makes defenders work, tries to keep them off balance.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. DeJuan Wright is out there with Jalen Brunson, and it's Kleba in at the center. Now, here's Doncic, following the missed shot by Will Barton. The wide open look here for Porzingis, nailed from three-point land. Porzingis has got the lead up to 7 now for Dallas. Murray outside. Barton outside. The Nuggets get it back in a new 14. Porzingis with the block.
Well, I guarantee you this is not what they talked about in the locker room. 0 for 3 and looking lost.
The shot's good.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible, and boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Now here's Brunson. Defense is right there, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
What a college career for Jalen Brunson. 2 championships and a Wooden Award. This is one of the most decorated players in college basketball history.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. And Brunson, the College Player of the Year back in 2018, but fell to the second round. Doris, when you look at that time, why did he fall?
I think it had everything to do with the fact that he's not an elite athlete by NBA standards. But we know unequivocally Jalen Brunson is a winner. His father played a decade in the NBA. This young man has been around the game since his formative years, and you can see it in his game.
The Nuggets trail by 11. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Millsap kicks to Jokic. And the pass to Harris. Shot clock at 6. Back to Jokic. No good again that time.
And the way he was able to reach out towards that release had an impact.
Well, no question, he altered that shot, and most of the time, that's just as good as blocking it.
And Murray's got the ball here for the Nuggets. Still looking for their first bucket of the second half. Barton surveying the floor. And the ball travels out of his hands. It was last touched by Jokic.
And checking out the stats for Paul Millsap, he had a strong showing last season. Averaged about 12 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. You know, you look at the numbers and you think that this is great, but we know that he's capable of even bigger production.
You know, the numbers look okay, but the eye test tells us unequivocally he is capable of more. That is the sign of a star right there. Well, what a job, punching the ball to the interior and finishing in the paint. Nice.
Harris outside. Pass to Millsap. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Harris has got 4 assists in the game.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Now here's Brunson. 6 points for him. Porzingis passes to Brunson. Right against Harris. Puts it up from 12. That shot off, and it's Denver the other way. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits. Harris has got 7 points in the game.
Boy, that one was not easy. Every once in a while, you just make a tough shot.
Here's Doncic. Second chance shot, and Porzingis with the lay-in. Porzingis has got 20 points.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
And stolen by Wright. And here we go, the Mavericks on a fast break. And it's Porzingis that time on the assist by Wright. Wright's got 3 assists now in this one. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. It's been quite a game for Porzingis.
Yeah, he's just torching them right now. A good decision to huddle up, kind of hit the reset button, and figure out how to slow his roll.
And the Nuggets with some changes. Plumlee, he's checked in for Millsap. And it's Michael Porter in for Barton. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Here's Murray, 14 points for him. Up top, Plumlee. Now, Jokic. Good on the triple. Jokic has got 11 points.
Well, for a big man, his stroke is just beautiful, and because of the height, it's so hard to challenge.
Plumlee against Porzingis. Over Plumlee. Again, the Mavericks score.
Boy, every time he goes up now, it just looks like the shot's going in. He's perfect from the field in this quarter.
Murray against Wright. It's stolen. And it's sent back by Jokic. Harris outside. Passes it to Jokic. It's rebounded by Dallas. Kleba's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Doncic. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Jamal Murray.
Well, what a pleasure to have a 7-footer who you can play through, because Kristaps Porzingis, that nice shooting form, carries over to the free throw line. That is crucial.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And Greg, as many expected, Porzingis getting a huge deal from Dallas to keep him a Mav for a long time.
Mavs feel he can be better than he was before the injury. Love the idea of pairing him long-term with Doncic. Signed him to a lengthy and sizable deal to be the core of their future.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And among NBA bigs, he is known for his ability to deliver at the free throw line.
Murray surveying the D. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
How about the strength of Murray finishing the shot off easily, even with the arm?
And I have just been so impressed with the way Jamal Murray has added to his game. Keeps pushing himself every offseason to make the most of his abilities as a player and continues to be a consistent threat from the outside.
Beasley's checked in for Gary Harris. And with Murray, Greg, you forget how young he is. He entered the NBA right out of his freshman year at Kentucky.
I mean, Murray was taken 7th in his draft and has kind of flown under the radar from that class. But the more you watch him, the more you feel like you're seeing a star in the making.
Here's Beasley after Luka Doncic's bucket. To the paint. Plumlee, no luck.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Porzingis kicks to Doncic. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
The tendency can be to really rush or push the game, and they need to avoid that.
And he comes up with the deuce.
Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough cover, guys.
Pass to Kleba. And there's the pass to Lee. Doncic outside. Hits it from 3-point range. Doncic has got the lead up to 14 now for the Mavs.
Well, after netting one in the first half, that's the second deep ball to go down for this guy.
Jokic kicks to Porter. Pass to Beasley. Murray with it. And here's Plumlee. Guarded by Wright. To the middle. 6 to shoot. Plumlee finds Porter. Beasley for 3. Kleba with the rebound. Kleba's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Well, Porzingis stays aggressive on the offensive end, and with the kind of offensive arsenal he has, it's exactly what you hope for, guys.
Now here's Murray. He's got 17. Right outside. Excellent D there from Beasley. The Nuggets trail by 16. Porter kicks to Beasley. Pass to Murray. Teardrop shot, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And Murray is so skilled at drawing these types of fouls. He loves getting to the charity stripe.
The Nuggets have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
And the first one drops.
And Murray has it all. A deadly shooter and a remarkable penetrator. Terrific guard play.
Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Denver. Morris comes in for Porter. Then for the Mavericks, Justin Jackson, he's checked in for Maxi Kleba. Hardaway comes in for Lee. And Curry subbed in for DeLon Wright. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Now here's Plumlee.
And let's take a moment to look at some stats for Doncic. Great showing for him last season. He was around 21 points per game last year, 8 rebounds and 6 assists. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
That's good from Plumlee.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
And he can't hit the second. Mavericks leading by 13. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. And now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. And that will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do on the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. Free throw good by Curry.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And both free throws good for Curry.
You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
Here's Morris, down low. It's stolen by Curry. Here's Doncic. Lays it up off the glass. Doncic has got 7 points here in this quarter.
I'll tell you, Luka Doncic makes tough shots look easy. Boy, that close to the bucket through that much contact, nice.
Now here's Murray. 19 points in the game. From 11 feet away, Porzingis with the steal. He feeds it to Jackson. And the shot goes in. And the Mavericks lead by 19.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Go over it.
Morris against Porzingis. Morris inside. It's rebounded by Porzingis.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Beasley with the steal. From about 19 feet, they grab their own miss. Here's Grant, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Dallas gets called for the foul.
Well, the athletic Jeremy Grant, so good at initiating contact, he gets the defense to react to his aggressiveness.
And you see Jeremy Grant on this team, he means so much more than just his stats.
He's a fantastic glue guy, and his teammates talk about how unselfish he is on the floor. Great team player and an even better chemistry guy off the court.
That one is off.
Well, I like how Jeremy Grant continues to work on his game. The jumper is coming along, and he remains an exceptional defensive player.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Millsap's checked in, and Dallas also making a switch. Finney-Smith's checked in. And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. Hardaway kicks to Porzingis. Trying to find Curry. He's got it now. Let's take a look at the 2K leaderboard to find out who are the best shooters from behind the arc last season. Look at Curry, 3rd in the NBA. He's someone that if you leave him alone, he's going to knock it down.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving
Take a break.
in terms
Take a
of that
break.
spot among the
2
league
shots.
leaders from 3.
First free throw is good.
Well, similar to his brother Steph, Seth is a knockdown shooter. This guy's a crafty combo guard with a number of tricks up his sleeve.
Both good from the line that time. Here's Morris. 5 points in the game. 1:43 left to play here in the third. To the inside. Millsap, count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Sometimes a player is born with a passer's mindset. He deals it with conviction.
For Denver, they have attempted 11 free throws today and converted 8 of them. And that one misses.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Kept alive.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Curry against Morris. Here's Millsap, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. He's shooting free throws, number 4 in 5 here.
And he was 73% from the line a season ago, an average number in that regard.
2 shots. Max on the first.
And he knocks down the first one. Both free throws good for Millsap. 1:11 left in the third. Curry passes to Porzingis. Curry against Morris. Pass to Finney-Smith. 6 on the shot clock. Hardaway dishes to Jackson. Porzingis, that's a 2. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. Millsap's got 6 rebounds here tonight. And the pass to Morris. 34 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. The fader. And it's Plumlee that time on the assist by Morris. Plumlee's got 5.
And that's a good shot for him. He can shoot it over almost anyone.
You want that mid-range game in your arsenal. You can't just be about threes and dunks. Sometimes this is a key shot.
Here's Finney Smith. Now here is Hardaway. The 3 from Porzingis. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Porzingis has got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Dallas. And that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their transition game has been in full effect. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Mavericks leading by 18. It's Morris and Beasley at the 1 and the 2. Jeremy Grant is out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Barton in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Denver.
Well, all night he has made an impact at the offensive end. Now he's trying to shut the door.
And so it looks like Denver will retain possession here. Harris is checked in for Denver. Here's Grant. He dishes it to Morris. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Porzingis with the block. They get it back. Just 5 to shoot. Harris passes to Millsap. Martin from outside. Doesn't go for him. So the Mavericks will take it the other way.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Curry is inside. Harris is there. The shot by Curry, no good. The Nuggets trail by 20. Here's Morris. Softly drops in the floater.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Now here's Brunson. Covered by Morris. Good on the shot. And the Mavericks lead by 20.
Oh, that's some fancy ball handling right there. Since when does he take guys off the dribble?
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Well, Doris, we've both been very public in our admiration for LeBron, the face of the league, for so many years. When he retires, and we're approaching that date, who do you think might step up and take his place as the face of the NBA?
Well, probably the most likely candidate is the new and reigning MVP, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is an absolute physical force. He's put on 50 pounds. He's getting more and more skilled. When he adds that three-point shot as a consistent weapon and gets to an in-between game, he will be impossible to guard. Kawhi Leonard, he is now sort of taking over as a multi-time winner of the Finals MVP, and certainly a player guys want to play with. So just a couple of possibilities there, Kev.
Now Jackson, following Will Barton's three-point attempt. Hardaway passes to Brunson. Barton against Hardaway. No good on the 3.
Boy, you can't buy a bucket. Shut out completely so far, and yet they're still ahead.
Here's Harris. The second chance effort. Porzingis with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That went off Porzingis. Jokic has checked in for Grant. The Mavericks also with a sub. Kleba's checked in. Out to Morris. Pass to Millsap. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Let's go. Morris passes to Jokic. Nice D from Porzingis.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
Brunson finds Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
You know, at 7'3", yes, he can dunk, but with that athleticism and his sense for the dramatic and his flair, look out, folks, he can be special.
Now here's Barton. On the wing, Harris. They could use a bucket. It's rebounded by Porzingis. Porzingis has got his 16th rebound on the night. People look at that general manager position with the team. I think it grows with some organization, maybe shrinks in importance with others. But by and large, it is more stable than coaching, isn't it? That position of being a GM.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, if you were to ask coaches, one of the things I've heard sort of thrown out there as an idea is when you list the head coach's record, why not list the GM's record as well? Because the reality is success in the NBA is contingent on so many things. What's your ownership like? What kind of front office personnel? Have they made great decisions? Do you have the best possible coaching comparative to the talent on your roster? So much contributes to winning, Kevin.
Porter's checked in for Denver. Wright, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Both free throws good for Porzingis. And so it's Barton bringing it up for the Denver Nuggets.
Timeout.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. Porzingis with a strong contribution so far in this one.
He's just really a one-man wrecking crew down low. And with this timeout, they've got to make some adjustments because he's been steady inside.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Barton passes to Jokic. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
That second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
Free throw, good. Jokic.
You know, you watch Nikola Jokic out there, and he just moves like a guard. The way he approaches the game, sees the court, and shoots just aren't found in that center position.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Juan Hernan-Gomez, he's checked in for Millsap, and it's Torrey Craig in for Gary Harris. And Jokic drops them both. You know, Greg, Jokic has so many tools at his disposal. He's a walking triple-double threat.
The passing and vision is what really sets him apart at that center position. The offense can run through him and should run through him with how he can distribute the ball. And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Craig kicks to Barton. Knocked away. Shoots over Berea. And another miss by Denver.
Now, I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Lee outside. Berea, the pass to Lee. A three-pointer off the mark.
I'll tell you, despite his struggles at the offensive end, this team still finds themselves in control of the ball game.
Here's Barton. Passes to Hernan Gomez. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship, luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals.
True.
This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Dallas has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Lee kicks to Berea. Lee with the ball. Pass to Kleba. Here's Brokoff. 5 to shoot. Dallas needs to get off a shot. And here's Berea outside.
Got his hand out enough on that one to bother the three-point attempt. Great hustle on that one.
You know, we talk about this time and time again, trying to stay connected to shooters along the perimeter. Nicely done.
Here's Barton. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
Well, that's not the guy you want guarding him at the rim. Just too much of a differential in terms of size.
Lee passes to Roby. Some nice passing here by Dallas. The pass to Lee. Lets a floater go. Here's Kleba. It's hauled in by Jokic.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Here's Berea. Michael Porter making his last shot. And it's sent back by Jokic. And he's able to get it back. Right side, Porter. And Brokoff pulls it down. Dallas leading by 20. Kicks it to Lee. Pass to Berea. Back to Lee. Here's Kleba. Passes it to Brokoff. Dallas again missing. Barton against Berea. Barton passes to Porter. It's good.
And looking a lot better now, but still a long way to go to get back into this one.
Yeah, but this run started with tighter execution at both ends, and that'll need to be maintained for them to have a chance to take the lead.
Dallas calls timeout.
And momentum going the other way. Can they find some answers?
I think here you have just got to get back to what you do best and then live with the results.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kristaps Porzingis.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. Porzingis is double. Pass to Kleba. Plays it up and banks it in. And the Mavericks lead by 20.
Well, this speaks to the feel that Kristaps Porzingis has for the game of basketball. If you're open, he'll find you.
Murray, the pass to Jokic. Barton kicks to Murray. Over to the left wing. Here's Jokic. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. And that's 15 points for Jokic.
And it's getting late, guys, but all of a sudden they have hope when just a little while ago it looked like hope was lost.
Back to Brunson. The pass to Kleba. Dishes it to right. Doncic outside. Good on the three-point shot. Doncic has got 31.
Building confidence in that deep ball. 1 from distance in the first, 2 in the second.
13 feet away. Here's Millsap, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Porzingis. Doris, isn't it interesting that we're seeing some teams with more three-point attempts than two-point attempts?
It's incredible, Kevin, that every year over the last decade you see more three-point attempts across all 30 NBA teams. And think about the Houston Rockets. In each of the last 2 years, the Rockets have actually taken more threes than twos. This is the evolution of the game. It is not going anywhere. There's 2 high-valued shots in the league. Restricted area twos, that means point-blank opportunities at the rim, and three-point shots. And everything else in between seems to be getting lost.
And so he hits both. Mavericks leading by 19 points. And here's Brunson. Outside, Porzingis. The three-pointer, no good. Harris outside. Inside. And Jokic slams it in.
Great chemistry between 2 teammates. Loving.
And so it's Wright bringing up the ball for the Mavericks. Brunson, good.
Outstanding pass, on time and on target.
Denver's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And Murray, here we go. And he converts the layup. Murray's got 21.
Boy, he's been cooking, but the teammates, he's just not getting a lot of support from them.
And the call will be against Harris. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Porzingis. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
One shot.
Guys, how about that body control from Porzingis? You think it's easy at 7'3" to gut your way through that kind of contact? That's nice.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Replay is always a good topic to talk about. Any changes, Doris, you'd like to see in the system or in the process?
Well, one of the beautiful things you have in the league is the opportunity in both Summer League and then also in your development league is the opportunity to put things in place. For instance, a coach's challenge has been experimented with at both of those different levels. And now the coach's challenge will be adopted and employed in the NBA. So I'm anxious to see how that plays out.
Here's Doncic following the basket by Jokic. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Jamal Murray.
We are talking about a clever scorer. Luka Doncic has developed such a knack for getting to the free throw line.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Doncic. All free throws good from Doncic. The Nuggets trail by 20. 1:44 left in the fourth quarter. Oh, the power on that Pruden!
And sometimes it just seems like Millsap can't miss. The size, the mobility, the quick thinking. This is how he can take over games.
Now, here's Doncic. Porzingis passes to Wright. Clock at 6. Doncic outside. Traps in the tray. Doncic has got 8 points in the quarter.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Dallas.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Porzingis.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
Doncic, no good.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Free throw good, Murray. And so Murray nails both of them. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Murray against Barea. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.